Okay. Uh, this is another video. I'm gonna make as many videos as I can until I can't. Uh, it's just so disgusting. It was a rough night, very rough. Now because they're doing things to my body, which is okay. I don't care too much. I care about it. Obviously I want to be healthy, but the psychological aspect of things is what's the most disgusting. Uh, it's just so disgusting. And hearing this trash perps, I don't know how much of it is automated, but to listen and the tone of not even the tone, the voices they try to sound like, it's try to sound innocent. You try to use this childlike voice, it just disgusts me even more. Right? It just like I truly I find them just human shit. I'm sorry to say that. And I truly see them for that. And you hear them try to, it's like, ugh, you nasty low life. I'm glad that you doomed yourself like in that way. That your life consists of manipulating people into accepting these disturbing things. They were doing these disgusting pedophilia things. It was just so nasty. And what they would do sometimes, they would make me imagine having like sexual moments with a woman and then just immediately make me imagine children. And then you hear this shit talking. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But they just disturb me. I see them for the spot. I mean, I understand they're just the bottom feeders for these entities. What they're doing is protocol. But I'll see them for what they are. They're not gonna escape into their fantasy, however they sound like, childlike or not. They work for pedophiles. There's issue with pedophilia. Their job is to break people down with this pedophilia type of torture. I was listening to somebody, I don't know if he has some kind of like ambulance sirens or cop car. She's trying to like be part of this thing to make somebody subscribe to these things. It was so disgusting. And you hear them tell, we're gonna frame you, we're gonna like, do your trash. They're just human shit, and human shit will do everything foul. And then try to think that they can live a dignified life after doing this thing. It's over. You can live a lavish life, but you still be a trash. You've been trying to force people to accept these pedophile things they do to people, and then try to look at yourself, be like a normal person. Trash. And they try to use this childlike individual. Oh, you'll cry. I'm like, you probably cried 3 days ago. If me, a man who get tortured and fried and manipulated, I'm standing, that's strength. If I cry when I'm being tortured, that's that. Trust you, if you cry by looking at yourself, that's something else. I'd rather die like this. I'd rather scream and cry than being somebody just weak. Cowards. Opening the door, say something, and then run back and walk on the human, because they know I see them for the pedophiles that they are. And then via V2K, they use all this like fierce voices, but when you look at them, just shake your head, you see them like, oh, just like can't even walk properly. But on via the V2K, it's like you are, fucking trash. Your day consists of how you gonna manipulate me into seeing things in peripheral ways, create this reality. And these people, that's their job though. I understand. I gotta remember, if they weren't doing it, other bottom feeders will be doing it. They just chose to be bottom feeders, so these bottom feeders are gonna be seen for the bottom feeders that they are. Do not give them more credit than they have. That's their job. That's what they need to be doing to me, as contracted trash from the government for this government entities filled with pedophiles on top of that. These slow lives. This trash, they're gonna get theirs. I'm glad that I just didn't have to live life doing what they do. These cowards, with the scripts and things they need to say to disorient somebody else. They know what I see them as. There's no way you can paint yourself in it. You're a nasty low-life shit. I'm sorry for the language, but that's the best way I can describe them. There's nothing. I can be sleeping in trash. I'm still better than these people. For the nastiness they force people and how they manipulate, and they're like, oh, we're there. No, that's what you're supposed to. That's handbook stuff. That's your protocol. Stop trying to make yourself fierce or anything. You are what you work for. These entities filled with pedophiles. And these entities have come up with ways to break people down because they want to break an ego down, a person's self-esteem and self-image. You're a coward, low life. What you do, a million people can do it. You're just a low life that's just an opportunist that's gonna get theirs, but don't worry. You're just trash. I see you for just the bottom feeders that you are. Nasty low life. You know, I'm gonna make a video after that. They were trying to make me imagine. So Stranger Thing. I used to watch this show a lot. You know, they used to mess with me with the main actress there. I forgot her name. You know, I love that show. One of my top shows. They used to mess with me. It's like, oh, you thought that when she's gonna grow up, she's gonna be a beautiful woman. I was like, okay, whatever. Now that the other actress that you know, like, okay, I only saw her in the show, and that's that. And they're like, oh, you see, you try to imagine how she was gonna look when she was growing up. No, the story they come up with their own BS stories, and not giving me this like implanting these ways of thinking. It's like, what? I don't think about her in any shape or form. Only when I see the show, I'm like, okay, and I've seen it once in that show, in that series. That's that. And now they try to make me imagine that thoughts today. Making me imagine, oh, so how would you think now? Like, you know, would you think? Last night, really implanting me this thought. Like, I never. Then when I'm looking at her, I was like, I'm not even sure how she looks like. I'm like, what? It's like it's strange that you do, like, oh, you had this thought about this. You look at her, it's like, what? Confused. But because they can overwrite with new version of reality, it's like, what? Nothing. But now, they give me a scenario of, okay, but can you imagine this way? Like, okay, maybe like you look at her, it's like, oh, you can see her that when she grows up, she's going to be, no. You're forcing me to imagine these things. And you hear this somebody outside yelling, oh, down, we have problems, just stop it. You just make me imagine these things today. A bunch of pedophiles. That's your job. Human shit. That's all, the best thing I can describe them. But they're not alone. There's a lot of human shit doing this with them. That's how you get, welcome to that world. Come, we're going to try to make this man a pedophile. Together, we're united in that. Talk about how I'm gonna be torturing lives. I'd rather get cut up in pieces than having to do these nasty things to people. Trash. What kind of self-respectable man or woman can do this? These losers are trash. I can never look at them in a respectable way, never. But they can do these things. They can override your thoughts. Some thought about somebody that you know, now like, oh yeah, you've been thinking about maybe when she grows up. What? And in your brain it goes in, it's like, oh my gosh. And you hear this trash try to disorient you. You're nothing. You're gonna be dying. You're gonna. That's how they sound like, because they're going through scripts and they say things every time to try to disorient me from this nonsensicalness they try to make me think of in these ways. Make me think in things I never thought this way toward people I never thought about like that. And now they just create this thought. I'm like, what? And then they're like saying, but you know, have you thought about somebody else like that? Then it's like, who have you like? And then think that, oh, what she grow up? Oh, what stupidity. And then they want you to feel like, oh my gosh, they're gonna attack you, they're gonna kill me. Okay, they kill me, attack me, but this thing is what you implant me to think. On top of that, last night you just doing all these disturbing things to make me imagine about kids sexually. These people want to break me down in a sense that they don't just want to, they can break me down, boom, like that, and I'll lose it. They want this back and forth. They want this battle. And they do things that just try to create stress and annoyance. It's this. On top of this, you know, like, and they want me to start looking at myself in different ways. I don't. You know, those days, I was weak for a moment because that's what they do. They want you to start seeing yourself in the way they present. Me, I'm like, nah, I understand what this is like. I'll never be weak to the point where I look at no. This way we try to break the self-esteem and self-image. No. It's disgusting. I don't want to, but I see what this is about. This weak moment is not so disgusting. Do you understand? The goal is to break you, so when you look at yourself in a different light. With these disturbing things, they force you from the little babies. It was so disgusting. They were literally making me imagine me having sexual moments with a woman, aroused me from those imaginations, which I knew. I immediately started like, no, don't do it, don't. Because I knew the next thing was going to be kids, and then implant this arousals they make me experience. It's like this like torment of disgusting, using your libido to break you down. You understand? You see, like, if you didn't know these things, and you were like, oh my gosh, you found yourself disturbed and disgusting about yourself. But you gotta understand, this is the tactics to break your self-image. It's disgusting. That is so foul. So now I'm like, oh, this. Now what's happening is, I see them when this trash pass by me, and I see them, or they go somewhere and I hear them. I'm like, this is a piece of shit that is trying to make a man or woman think about kids in these disgusting ways. They're the fucking pedophiles, excuse my language. This trash that are contracted by these government entities, filled with pedophiles, try to break people down like this. Of course, I understand. There's many, they're just one of many. But this is what they are. And then to find out these people, and I remember yesterday I grabbed the mailbox, and he's a guy, he works for the postal service. He's trash, right? He's involved, of course. And I grabbed my box, like, CIA, huh? And I look away when I'm saying that, and he just got quiet. He's like, I know. He's like, yeah, I know, yeah, I know what you understand what I just said. That's not that just because the issues were like this articles calling out there was like issues with pedophilia in these agencies. Yeah, all this trash are here trying to force people to think in these ways. Right now they try to go back and forth and create another battle. That's the things they do. But you have to be strong, till the last day. You'll never identify now. One thing, of course, I understand that's going to happen. When they talk about the tortures and what I'm going to experience, that is something I accept. And I understand it's going to happen. There's no way. They've been humiliated too much that I'm not going to be tortured in the fashion they say. For sure, I'm going to be tortured at some point. These people have been embarrassed for knowing that I know that the pedophilia type of torture is systematically done. That they torture children. And the entities that are really in charge of these things are filled with pedophiles. Pedophiles. It's humiliating. What this trash I try to make you think in a pedophilia ways. And so basically they sold the soul to pedophiles. And to counter that's like, pedophile, try to block it, it's like try to disorient you. You understand how humiliating? Of course there's gonna be some torture. This trash opens it up. She's nervous to say that out loud because there's so many pedophiles in these agencies, and this trash are contracted by these agencies. They're the one architecting these things, and this trash whose job was trying to force somebody to think in a pedophilia ways is not only humiliated by the fact that there's enough validations to prove that they have a systematic pattern of torturing people in these pedophilia ways. And this child like trash is just a bottom feeder in these entities that contract this trash to implement this technology onto people to break them down so they can improve this technology, improve this weapon. She's seen for what she is. There is no way to escape from that. There is a pattern of pedophilia in what they do. And the pattern of pedophilia in these agencies that actually orchestrate these things, architect these things. The Department of Defense, the DARPA, even DARPA, they give this pedophiles a program manager. It's a program manager caught some child porn on his computer, his work computer, please. On top of that, his work computer. This church is just nothingness. They're just a civilian contracted by these entities to implement these things. This is nobody. The people who are probably handlers and people above are probably like CIA related, DOD related. They're the one probably, okay, you gotta do this. Teach them what to say, how to say, orchestrating everything. And they try to add the little thing, try to make this like femme fatale, everything but really what they are. Part of a contracted, part of a program that is experimenting on human and been experimenting on human for a long time in order to improve this weapon system. That's what they do. Now it's like we investigating with my thing, with all this stupid, all these retardations of like scripts, when in reality is just human experimentation. That's basic. Why? Because they need human subjects to improve this technology, this weapon. That's why it's so sophisticated. It's because a lot of people have been put in this program in already and are still in. And they're going to continuously improve by doing these things. And this trash are just the bottom feeders living around you, the civilian trash who just wants the benefits of whatever they get. And they're implementing these tactics. And they call it we at war. Oof. Trash. I rather die like this. And it's funny every time I do something that, oof, because they probably do something to my brain. But the sad part is some of these trash might even die before me. Some of these trash might, who knows their health is, you know. I've seen some that look sickly. I've seen one guy just walking there. I was like, this guy looked like he's just a cancer survivor. Or something's not right. I seen somebody when I was coming up. She's really young. He's looking like a crackhead. And she's not. It's obvious that she doesn't go outside enough. It's something. She does this thing indoor. She looked like she just like, you need to go outside. Looking weird, like her skin looks weird. Like you just need to go get some sun. You've been into her sweatpants, her hat, like, ugh. And then in my head, I tried to change her and to make her look something else. Look like somebody on drugs. And she's not, for sure. You can see she just doesn't take care of herself. Because she's probably dedicating doing these things 24/7. I see some guy when I remember, I was doing laundry. This guy is sloppy. He's just wearing his sweatpants and everything, just all red because I'm listening to the pedophilia issues in these agencies. Trash. Ugh. Nasty. They do these nasty things and they try to make you to accept this thing, and it's so nasty. But to all my target individual, I make these videos and I want to continuously talk about this until I can't, because I know my words are going to be very limited, in meaning that there's going to be a time when I couldn't do this. I cannot do this. I can feel my brain not functioning well. If I could tell you how hard it is to process things, my brain processing is just like, I did something, I thought I was still watching a video, and actually I wasn't, and I saw the background of something, it just like, I'm reading things, it just like this, they're just like mixing each other, like I'm like, oh my gosh. It's gonna be very hard for me to function. But this trash are low lives. And stay strong. This bottom fears will do everything to manipulate the reality and get you to accept this reality.